Hold on. I'll be with you in a second. Oh, sorry about that. No, I took today off and I've been busy down here and lost track of time and had to get my lunch in. But today I want to take a few minutes. Oh, by the way, welcome back, guys. But today I wanted to take a few minutes and just go over some of the purchases I made to upgrade this space down here. The big one being these shelves right here. I wasn't sure how much I was going to need them or like them once I got them. And I'm like thrilled with them. But there's a caveat to that we'll get to in a second. When I first saw these on 3D Print Rancher's YouTube channel, he was talking about them and recommending them. And I'll put a link to his video up here wherever it winds up. Excuse me. And when he put that video out, they were priced on Amazon, I think around $360 or $380. I forget exactly where they were. And before I could pull the trigger a few days later, the price jumped to almost $550 for a set of two. And it was a 2-pack. And I wasn't going to pay that much for it. So I just left them in my cart and watched them for a while. And it was probably 3 weeks later when I went and looked, and the price had dropped to under $350 for a set of two. So that's less than $175 a piece. And I immediately pulled the trigger on it, which, if you think about it, is not a bad price for them, especially for what you're getting, which I'll get you in here closer in a few minutes and we'll look at the construction of these. But if you go to Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere and you look at metal shelving that is probably maybe 60 or 70% this size and quality, you're paying at least $175 a piece, if not more, per shelving unit. And most of them aren't as big as these. And nowhere near, I don't think, the quality from what I've seen. So for $175 a piece, this is a no-brainer buy. If you need storage, if you need shelving, and have space for them, they obviously take up a lot of space. They are 68 inches wide, 24 inches deep, and 65 inches tall. This particular set of shelves, and you get 4 shelves with each unit, so a total of 8 shelves. Now I've got mine set up. This unit over here, I put 3 shelves on because I knew I was going to need room for the printers, and even then, I couldn't get the AMSs on top of them without dropping this shelf down anymore. And I've got it as low as I really want it right now, for convenience sake, for getting in and servicing getting prints out of it and everything. So for the H2C, I've got the AMS up on top, and I don't think you can see that from where, you can see the corner of it. And I've got my AMS HT, which is a small single spool. I got both of those hooked up to the H2C. You can also see up here, I've got a Soval SH03, I believe is the model number. That's a filament dryer, and I like that. I'm going to do a separate review on that because I've got 1 or 2 nitpicks with it. But overall, I think it's the best filament dryer on the market, short of just a regular AMS, which you can't currently print and dry with them except for the H2D. I think they finally released a firmware update where you can print and dry with the H2D, but that's another story. So this AMS is connected to the little printer, the P2S. And I put it beside it because I got room. I could set it on top, but I can't open it up to service the filament in it with it setting up here. It's just not enough clearance. There's a steel cross member right here under this shelf, which you can see it's plywood. I put that on there. That did not come with the shelves. But there's 3 steel cross members, and one happens to be right over top of this printer. And with it there, the AMS wouldn't open. Like I said, I could lower this shelf another section, which is about 4 inches. You got 4 inches worth of adjustment on these shelves. But I just set it beside it, and it's fine for right now. If I wind up needing room, I might wind up pushing this down another notch and putting the AMS up on top. Or I might even raise it up because there's room for the H2C to come up one more notch. And then I can just put the AMS for it up here on top shelf like I have the H2C. And then it'll open this area up between them. But for right now, this is working out just fine. But this is probably, short of the printers, one of the biggest investments I've made so far in this print area. Well, except maybe the filament. As you can see, I've got quite a bit here on this shelves, these 3 shelves here. But there's more you can't see on another rack behind you. It's my little library cart, which I absolutely love this cart. Found it secondhand at a local flea market. And what I love about it is it's sized perfectly to put rolls of filament on. And because when it was used in the library, it held books, and the shelves have a lean to them. So they lean back, and they've got a backstop in the middle. And there's 2 rows, one on each side. Well, 3 rows of shelves on each side, but they've got a backstop in between the 2 sides, and both the shelves come down at an angle on each side. And when you put a roll of filament on it, that angle, the lean to it, holds that filament on there, and it won't roll off. You can roll that around as long as you don't get real energetic with it, and the spools will stay right where it is. So I've gotten a lot of use out of that. Okay, guys, got you over here a little closer. We're going to go over how these shelves are made. The metal is about 54 thousandths of an inch thick. It comes out to a little less than 1.5 millimeters. But the way they've got it shaped in essentially a C-channel, it has a lot of rigidity to it, and not a lot of weight. Now, they are fairly heavy, but that's to be expected considering how nicely made they are and how rigid they are. But one of the key points that really sold me on these shelves, and not just because 3D Print Rancher recommended them, but they're set up more like pallet racking than most normal metal shelves that you find at a home center or even Walmart. The main part of the pallet racking system that I like is that you can connect shelving units together and string them along and have an entire run, and they will help to strengthen each other, add to their rigidity, rigidity. Words, they're hard. But you notice that this shelf here, this is one of the crossbars for the shelf, comes down, and it's only taking up 1 row of these holes, these slots that the shelf hooks into. There are hooks inside right here that hook over into this edge, and when you hammer it down, basically pulls the angle against this side right here and locks it in place. And you put a safety pin in there to keep it from bouncing back out if for whatever reason it decides to do that. But you've got a shelf hooked over here. You can put one on this side going that away. And with 2 of these systems, you have 4 of these end units once they're put together. So what you could do, instead of mine, I've got both of mine set up in an L shape to kind of define that area over there where my printers are in my work area. But what you could do is put them end to end and set the other shelf, other end units, a shelf's distance away in that direction, and put a shelf between them. Hook it here into that end unit. Then you have another end unit. You can go another shelf distance out in that direction. So you could essentially have 3 shelving units for the price of 2. The only caveat to that is that you still only have 8 shelves. So you have to divide it up between them, which isn't bad if you're setting up 3D printers, because you don't have enough room for 4 shelves, or you can get by with less than 4 shelves on each section. You'd have 2 sections with 3, like I've got my printers set up on. I've got a bottom shelf, a top shelf, and then the shelf the printers are setting on. And then you can, on your 3rd section, you'd have 2 shelves left over, and you could put one either at the top and then at printer height, which even if you don't have printers to put on that would make a good desk or work surface once you put some plywood on, which I'm using for plywood for shelving. And I bought this and cut it and put it in here myself. This did not come with it. I'll show you the metal mesh shelf material that they sent with it, and I'm not using it. I've got it set aside. I may have another project for it, but you'll have to wait and see on that. But but you can, with 2 of these shelf units, you can essentially have 3. So 3 for the price of 2. And considering that they're already pretty doggone cheap, so if you have 3 shelving units and say you can get them for $350, that's what, $115 a piece roughly? Somewhere between 115 and 120. That is way cheaper than you can buy shelving units at your local box stores. And these things are rigid. Now, I did add, let me get you down here because we're going to have to go to the floor for a second here. Well, bear with me, we're going mobile. This is the bottom, and this is the way they come. You just have a flat surface. There is a hole here, but they're basically designed to go on a flat floor, and then you drill a hole in your floor, whether it's wood, concrete, whatever, and you put a bolt through it to secure it to the floor. Well, I knew my floor down here in the basement, because we have drains, has a lot of slope to it. So I bought these leveling feet on Amazon, and I attached them to the bottom so I could level the shelves. And with that rubber foot on the bottom, they stay put, and I haven't had any problems with the ones the printers are on trying to walk around. I wanted to point out the end bracing on these end units. What you have is a horizontal piece that goes between these, and that is, let me get over here, maybe you can see this one a little better. The shape of these is C-channeled, and that brace is right bolted through these flanges on this C-channel. And you have the horizontal there. It's another horizontal across the bottom. And then there's a Z brace or diagonal brace going that way. And this material is the same thickness as these C channels. So they are 54 thousandths or a little under 1.5 millimeters thick. And for intention and in short runs like these, they're very stiff. Very stiff. Can't hardly move that. But my concern is these diagonals. They are so long, and they're just a C channel with actually some very, very small flanges, I guess you'd call these, on each side. I don't know the right terminology. As you can see, they're just a C channel. And in tension, obviously, this is going to be pretty stout. But in compression, this is very easy to flex. So if the shelf was to rack, I'm trying to push that, and I mean, I'm not pushing that hard on it. I think you can see the bow in that. If you look at that piece of plywood there, I'm probably not helping because I'm moving the camera at the same time. But it's moving, I don't know, 2 or 3 millimeters easy, and I'm not pushing on it that hard. So when it comes to my printers, and they get very, very energetic sometimes, especially that H2C, because its print head is so doggone heavy, I'm afraid that there's going to be a excess vibration in the shelf unit. So far, I haven't seen a lot of that, but it could happen. I may have to run a wire cable, sorry for the finger, a wire cable maybe from this hole or these mounting slots here, run a wire cable down on the opposite diagonal down to there and put a turnbuckle in it so I can tighten it up so that the wire cable will be in tension, and then this will be pulled into tension where it's going to be a whole lot stronger. And I think that'll add a lot to the rigidity. They're fairly rigid as is. Just putting stuff on them, they're fine as is. Easily strong enough for that. It's just the extra vibration from the printers that concern me. Oh yeah, and this is my monitor. Little 5-inch, I bought it off Amazon. It lets me see what I'm doing when I need to have the camera in such a way that I can't see the screen on it. That's always been a problem, framing and making sure I'm in focus. We get a little infinity shot going here. Ooh. Okay, that's kind of wild. Anyway, I'll put a link to that, put a link to these shells, and the filament dryer, the SH03 by Soval. Get up here and get a little closer view of that. I've currently got some PET G drying in the left side. The right side has ABS in it. I've already dried it, but it's just setting in there, enjoying the dryness. The weather's changed around here, and when it was really cold, we were setting in approximately 30% humidity down here in my basement, but it's warming up, and we've had a lot of rain, and currently the humidity down here was 64%. We bought a brand new dehumidifier, and I just set it up this morning, and it's running. You may hear the hum in the background. That's what that is. And it's bringing the humidity down, but it's only been working about an hour, so no miracles in that regard. So, but that's it. I just wanted to go over the shelves and a couple other little things. And this short video seems to have gotten out of hand. I tend to ramble a lot, so it's probably going to wind up longer than I expected. But anyway, the next video should be the vent system. I'm ready to start putting that in. I got to go through all the stuff, make sure I've got everything I need, and then I'll start filming that. It may be in dribs and drabs. It may take me a little while to get it all put together, but we're going to get there. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.